Backlog trophies, am I right? We all have them, they are unavoidable. They haunt us, they hang over us, a reminder of what could be. I realise that my mad quest for a higher percentage has left me with the worst of the worst. The trophies that were too hard, too annoying, or just generally bothersome for me in some way. These trophies are the backlog ball breakers, and these are the games that broke me. Give me a game with any genre, style, difficulty, whatever, and I'll figure it out. But this first backlog game almost defeated me before I had even started. And that game is Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Now, I am a Crash fan, but I don't care much for racing games or kart games. The amount of time I had spent playing this game before this cleanup would have amounted to minutes, and a very low number of minutes at that. And this is because I never grew up with this game, so it doesn't hold a special place for me in my memories. My missus, on the other hand, did grow up on it, so it was obviously going to get a lot of attention in my household, and for once, I was the one watching instead of playing. Until now. Now, I'm the poor sap who has to clean up the trophies of a game I have never played for more than 5 minutes. Now, I am well aware of the situation I am putting myself in. I have been on the internet, I know exactly what is ahead of me, but surely this isn't that bad. I may not be that big of a racer, but I can drive when I need to. So to start this off, I've got 79% complete, that's 41 out of the 48 trophies, but there's only 2 that anyone cares about. Yep, I will need to defeat both Entropy and Oxide's time trials. Yay for me. So I guess it's time to validate my learner's permit, strap on the training wheels, and start from the very beginning. The first 2 levels of story mode I did alright on, but it was with Ruse Tubes and Sewer Speedway where I started to hit my first snags, because now I actually had to learn how to use the power slide and boost mechanic, which is absolutely integral to this game. Anyone watching that has any level of competency in this game is probably going to cringe at this performance, and you're probably not going to like any of it really, but every time I figured out how to do the slide, I'd forget how to steer in the process. Of course, this is just a skill issue, and I just need to keep playing to get better. It has been a really long time since I felt like such a beginner at any video game, but I was actually having fun, much more than I was expecting to. After playing for a full day, I surprised myself by making it all the way to Hot Air Skyway, which was where day 1 came to an end for me. My notes here just say, Pinstripe can fuck right the hell off. With my second day, these later levels were proving to be far more tricky, and my urge to kill was now rapidly rising with every race. Gone was the early and fun progression, replaced by the game's true nature. Underneath this colourful facade beats the heart of a soulless monster who cares nothing for what mortals think. With the pressure rising, I experimented with some other classes, and it was with drifting that got me through Oxide Station. That was deceptively easier than I was expecting. And that's the story mode done, on medium of course. I did enjoy most of it. I've sort of got the general feel for the controls in the most basic way possible. The boss races are just awful. I struggled with almost all of them, and I still have a very long way to go. Buoyed by the success of finishing story mode, it was now time to hear some sweet trophy dings, and I did that by heading on over to Coco Park and knocking out the 2 drift trophies the same way everyone else does them. And now it was time to enter the time trials. Here is where the game earns its rarity. I mentioned that the game is a soulless monster. I didn't realise how soulless this creature was. For 31 maps, I will need to first play each race once to get a qualifying time, then I will need to beat my own time again in order to be able to even race against Entropy, but I can't just beat my own time by milliseconds, which is a tactic that has served me so well in so many other games. No, I actually need to beat a specific time for Entropy to become available. Maybe you can do this first time and I just suck. I don't know, but for me, even the qualifying times took several attempts before I could even unlock the ability to get to Entropy. And then of course, we just have to wipe the floor with Entropy and rinse and repeat for Oxide. Simple. And of course, I had very little success on my first few days. In fact, after a week, I just was getting absolutely nowhere. And this is where it became my white whale. I had only just managed to beat the story mode, and these trials were becoming like a hamster wheel. Just the game watching me run in literal circles over and over and just not progressing with anything. I never got the feeling that the game was ever trying to teach me how to play this game. I felt that it was relying on the member berries of someone who has played before, which I don't have. Coupled with its reputation and knowing that this was haunting my backlog, my motivation dropped to a point where the inevitable happened. I gave up and moved on to something else. But a haunting doesn't go away just because you close your eyes. I knew that I just needed to sit down, shut up, and put in the effort. After all, this is an official ball breaker of a game. It's been about 6 months since I last played. I'm now returning before I get sidetracked by another game. Nope, this is fundamentally stupid. I have to jump, just like a little hop, and then twist in midair to land sideways and then do a drift in order to go forwards with speed for every race, for every track. What the fuck? Who thought this was a good idea? Despite all this, I was able to get back into it pretty quickly. However, my frustrations went from anger to denial in very quick succession. There was just something about the gameplay that I could not wrap my head around. I can't figure out how to progress, and I don't know why. I just can't figure it out. And with this came resignation. I'm not sure if I'm in the right headspace for this. I might have to accept this game isn't for me. I don't know. I don't want this in my backlog anymore. And I was right. My headspace was all wrong. Because in truth, I was making progress on the qualifying times. After a few days of solid gameplay, I had unlocked all the qualifying times, and I had even beaten Entropy in 2 races. And that success changed things, because now I know he could be beaten. I realised that the gold stars next to the races were for Entropy's times. I thought they were for the qualifying times. So it was with some comfort to note that this includes wins from all save files, which means the missus has beaten 12 of Entropy's times already. This means that almost half of them are already completed for me. I'm still going to have to go back to do Oxide anyway, and I'll have to practice against Entropy before I do that, but it does take a little bit of the sting away. So on my first day against Entropy, my strategy was to pick a track, practice a bit, and depending on the level of success, either keep going until I'd mastered the track, or just move on and return later when the skills are a bit higher. My reaction times were still developing, so any track with blue fire was just simply not on the cards on day 1. But I did earn 5 stars on my first day against Entropy, so not a bad start, and certainly a big blow to the negativity that I was having a week ago. After all the naysaying at the beginning, I did not expect to progress quite this quickly. Whatever it was that I thought I was not understanding a week ago no longer exists. My skill is still low, very low, but Entropy's times can be beaten with low to average skill. If you're trying this game yourself, you can make several errors and still beat Entropy's times. Now we're getting into some trickier tracks, the ones that take a little bit more dedication. And one of those was the dreaded Oxide Station, which I still hadn't even earned the qualifier for. That is the last qualifier I needed to get. And that took me about half a day to get. I then went back to practice against the ones that the missus has already done, just to get a feel for those and to learn those tracks as well. I still can't even beat Crash Cove yet. The very first track they give you, and it's one that I struggle with the most. I actually can't even beat her times. Why isn't she here doing this? Yeah, I know you can hear me in the other room. There is no shortage of guides online for this game, and I was naturally consulting many of these each time I hit a wall or struggled with an area. So now down to the last of these entropy times. I read in various places online that using the D-pad like they did in the olden days would give me better control and help immensely with getting better times. So I hopped on over to an easy map to try this method out. Oh, this is very strange. Oh, it changes how I hold the control. My finger... With my thumb on the D-pad, my finger no longer sits on the L1 for the boost. And I'm holding my right hand so tightly that it's now just become a claw, a permanent claw. I actually need to consciously... I need to consciously relax my right hand because it's starting to hurt. To get a better feel for using the D-pad, I also headed on over to the Crystal Challenges for some practice. Oh Shiny popped quite unexpectedly that I wasn't even recording it. This is for doing all the Crystal Challenges. I hadn't done any of the Nitro Kart tracks, but I guess maybe we have done them back in the day. So there's another trophy. I didn't want Oxide Station to be the final race against Entropy. I see a lot of people using Oxide Station as the last level, the last hurdle they have to overcome, and I didn't want that for myself. So with some D-pad training under my belt, I returned, and yeah, I was getting better times actually now that I've started using the D-pad. I still haven't gotten any better with the Blue Flame, but my times were improving. I am slowly getting better at the game. Finally, I got him. So I didn't want to leave Oxide Station for last, but what track would I leave for the last to beat Entropy in? Well, I wanted to end on a fun track, so I chose Dragon Mines. Shut up, it's not funny. It was fun at the time, shut up. For those of you that don't know, the problem with this track is that it has a horrible spiral part to navigate and it's hard to do while keeping your speed up. I haven't yet learned how to do air braking or U-turns properly, and this is just sloppy. As I said earlier, if you have skill with this game, this will probably hurt to look at. Got him. Got him. That was far from perfect. Oh, if you could bottle this feeling right now. My thumb is fucked though. What is it with crash games and physical injury? And that was 2 trophies, not just for beating Entropy, but also getting all of the original roster. That was far from perfect, that run. I have a feeling I'm gonna need to be much closer to perfect to beat Oxide. It's been a couple of days, and now that the cartilage in my thumb and wrist has grown back, I can return and go for the big one. Let's go against Oxide. My concern now is that I really have to lock in. Oxide's times are generally a good chunk quicker than Entropy, usually around 5 to 10 seconds faster, but in some cases even more, some of them even less. But Oxide doesn't make errors the way Entropy does. He uses all the same shortcuts that we will need to use, so there is less room to make mistakes, so hence the locking in. And on top of all that, these times really require a certain understanding for every track. It's a very good design that each of these tracks and races have their own little quirks and nuances that help get you these times that you need. But that doesn't mean I don't have to rage my way through them. Oh, I am not good at this. And this is supposed to be one of the easy tracks. That's one. First Oxide time trial. Again, I really don't want to end on a super difficult infamous level, because that's just boring. I want to end on a fun level that I enjoy, not Dragon Mines. So I'm going to stick with tracks that I have the most trouble with, and the ones that I have the most trouble with are actually the ones that I've got more practice with. So on the first day, I'm going to be hitting the ones that I know the best. Oh, I'm starting to feel my thumb swelling up again already. This is not good. This is probably stupid to do, but I've spent most time playing on Oxide Station, so I'm going to do this one early. So if I can smash Oxide Station out early, I think I can safely confirm this one in the bag. Oh! Oh, it counted! Oh, exact times, motherfucker! Oh, far out! Oh, my thumb thanks you. What a first day against Oxide. I smashed 7 total races against him, including Hot Air Skyway and Oxide Station. I'd go for more, but I really need to put some ice on my wrist again. Having beaten some of the harder tracks against Oxide on my first day of attempting them, I had a taste for blood. Or in this case, a taste for platinum. So maybe I had started to, perhaps, overestimate my abilities a touch, but on day 2 I really wanted to stick with the harder and more hated tracks so I can end on a high note, and I chose Dragon Mines, and I hate existence. Oh, fuck off. Whoops. Whee! Oh my god. What are you doing?
Just do air brake on the spiral.
No, this is what fucking happens when you air brake. Fucking dumbass just plants it into the fucking lava. Oh, it has been 4 fucking hours. There's practice. I get it. And then there's just being given cunty mechanics, so this level can go fuck off right into the fucking bin. You may have noticed that I tend to be quite stubborn at times, but I know this is getting me nowhere, and there are plenty of other levels to keep practicing on. God damn it, now every level is being a bitch. Nah, Dragon Mines is giving me the yips. Nah, I'm gonna have to call it a day. Up until now, I had been using just the speed class, which is apparently considered to be the most advanced class to be doing every race in. I am in no way advanced, and here I am trying to be like one of the big dogs, but I am willing to try out different classes to see how well they play. Alright, using Drift class, I just cleared that with a good 5 seconds over the speed class. That was good. Changing classes proved to be the right antidote for the previous day's downfall, and one of the best highlights of anything I've done so far is perfectly nailing the shortcut in Sewer Speedway 3 times in a row. Oh yeah. Stupidly, I decided the Drift class might be the edge I needed to defeat Dragon Mines. What better way to get around a spiral? But again, I got nowhere after a few hours. I will not be saving this fucking track till last. No goddamn way. As an aside, I also unlocked a pro challenge for doing 25 perfect drift boosts in a row, just randomly. I suppose I am no longer a beginner at the game and have moved on into the next category, intermediate or low, average, I don't know what you want to call it, but the game is telling me that I'm getting better. While I may have developed enough skill to tackle these races with serious merit, there's still more that I haven't learned yet, and today I really need to figure out how to properly manage blue fire. And this is essential to winning against Oxide, and without blue fire, I am just not at his level. I need to keep the blue sacred flame burning for 2 full laps pretty much. The acceleration class stops me swinging into walls, that's an improvement. Like everything, I am getting the hang of it slowly, not enough to compete with like the developer times, but fuck that. It's enough to smoke Oxide and that's all I need. So taking that knowledge to even more races, I knocked out my best day so far with a total of 9 tracks. I have 8 left to go. I have no idea if it will take me a day or a week to complete, who knows. I can be in a race for minutes or hours, so I guess we'll just see. Right off the bat, I'm into this. 2 more tracks go down before I bite the bullet and it's into Dragon Mines again. This could be the last hurdle. If I can do this, none of these tracks can defeat me, and then I will never have to see this level again. I want to say I've put in at least 8 hours on this one track in 2 separate sessions. I've tried the shortcut with bugger all success. I've blazed through other tracks that require U-turns and air braking. This is the last mountain I need to conquer. Ah! 5 tracks to go. I've got this. I've got this. Strangely, 4 of these tracks I have avoided or not really played on because I just haven't. In fact, Cortex Castle I have not played once in all this time, and it shows. That was a disgusting performance from both of us, really. Like, we both sucked at that, but I still got him. And that was first fucking go, too, on Turbo Track. Slide Coliseum. Creamed him first go. Yes! He doesn't use shortcuts. Fuck yes. Oh, I'm so fucking far behind. Oh, fuck, I am on fucking fire! Yes! So far behind. 3 races, first time in a row. Bang, bang, bang. Let's fucking go. 1 race left. Let's do this. Yes! Having knocked out the last 3 tracks in 1 go each, I wish I could say that I did this first go as well, but yeah, I did not do this one first go. I was very good at it, but I had to learn the second fence shortcut for it to really make a difference. Oh, that might have been the best jump I've done there. Oh, that second jump wasn't good. I'm not going to risk it on the last lap, no way. Ah, got it! Ah. Yeah, whoa indeed. And that's Plat. Well, needless to say, this one is obviously a certified ball breaker. I don't think I need to really stress that enough. This game broke me before I even started. It broke me several times throughout. It made me doubt that I would be able to complete it. It made me laugh, and it made me Nicolas Cage. But in the end, I don't hate it. If this is not proof enough that you can do any game, don't let games fucking get in your head like this game did to me. I actually do understand why people enjoy it, and I do respect this game's individuality. There really is nothing quite like this game. It'd be pretty foolish of me to attempt more time trials for another game, right? No, this nightmare is just beginning. Because the next game is Crash Bandicoot 4, the second fourth game of the franchise. And just like CTR, you already know what needs to be done. And there are hundreds of videos of how Crash 4 broke people, drove them insane, and no shade to you if it did, but I'm going to try and do something never before attempted. I'm going to try and do it without losing my sanity. Assuming I still have any left. This is where I left the game. I've gotten almost everything the first time I played, enough for the game to declare it 100% complete, but in order to get 106% for the final completion, I still need to collect all the Platinum Time Trial relics and the last 6 Perfect relics. In case you don't know, a Perfect relic requires a casual stroll through a level with 0 deaths, all while breaking every single box in the level along the way. The game likes to go a little stupid with the amount of boxes required, but since nobody ever forgets how to play a Crash game, I don't have to relearn the controls, so let's just get right back into it. Alright, that took about 45 minutes. Maybe Toxic Tunnels wasn't the strongest idea to restart on, but I'm still calm. Let's see what other levels I have. These are the other levels I need to do. I'll start with bears repeating and building bridges, since the second half of both of these levels are the same, and the final polar section is the part that originally broke me and where I gave up on in the first place. So let's tackle these two first. Okay, this is the first proper level. Let's not count the Toxic Tunnels runs that I did before. That was just knocking off the cobwebs. Let's do this properly. Does that death path have boxes? I can't remember. I'll bet it does though, doesn't it? Oh, and it's a high road style path too. Shit. So far, most of this level is pretty straightforward. It's just the death path and the final polar section. Shut up, you're laughing, Cortex. Shut up. Okay, not too bad. I missed one box, and I know exactly where it is. No hidden sneaky boxes anywhere. And only 5 deaths. 4 of those were on the death path. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Ah. Okay, that first shot where I missed the one box, that was my first attempt at this level. This was my second attempt. My chest hurts. The organ that replaced my heart is beating so hard. Wow, second bloody go. I hate these electric wall things. Shit. Oh, they've changed up the boxes. There's lots more now. No. Oh, I missed. Okay, that's one that I missed. My last ones are easy. Okay, I missed 3. Good. Again, no hidden ones. I died 5 times. These electrical pads have this weird timed pattern that I'm just going to class as grade A bullshit. Every goddamn time. Woo! Building bridges was not as successful as bears repeating. I died a total of 20 times to restart, and there were 2 runs where I missed boxes. But here's where I tweak the nose of the trophy gods and say something like, I'm only on my first day, I haven't played in months, but I'm making much quicker progress than I was expecting to. Day 2 started off with a streak of stupid deaths very early on, but it wasn't putting me off the time trials at all. They will be completely different. These perfect relic runs, I can take my time in, but you better believe that I am still making mental notes while I'm here. There's 2 animal sections, which are probably going to be a pain in the ass. The length of these levels is going to be a big issue. There's just too much room for error. Oh, I made it to the end. I only missed 4 boxes. Crap. Ah, there's my missing 3 boxes. This is just such a bullshit death. This is just an example of what we all have to work with here. Pour one out for the hundreds of people who have done this before me. Despite stupid deaths, I was getting better at not dying, but it was missing boxes that was now becoming a problem. In fact, it was giving me the shits more than dying at this point. I get why people hate this level, but I don't. Which was what I thought before I had reached the 5th hour of playing it, and it seems that crossing that mark is making my cucumbers less cool than I would like them to be. Oh, fuck this level. Oh, I started this at 9 AM. It has just crossed 4 PM. So Crash Landed was done with 37 deaths, which is my most so far, although technically I would sometimes move on and practice, so you could probably add another 10 to that total, and on top of that I also did 17 restarts due to missed boxes, so we're looking at least 60 to 65 odd replays for just this level, and it took me an entire day. My mind hasn't snapped yet, but it is starting to stretch tight. Halfway through now, and my mind is still in a state of zen-like calm. But now I have to face the snacks dimension. I really do not like the design of these city levels. Oh, you are lucky that was in the bonus level, by God. I can almost always get to this final bit, but this last 10 seconds of level has fucked me over at least 10 times. I don't know whether to scream or cry anymore. Okay, 28 attempts, all deaths, better than Crash Landed at least. Oh, another long-ass level with several sequences. This one's got to be the longest so far, right? Got all the boxes, 35 deaths. This one's gonna be another all-dayer. Well, I was wrong about this being an all-dayer. That took me 10 runs. Calmness washes over me like a green acid bath. And I'm going to need it for the final perfect relic. We're back at Toxic Tunnels. Okay, there we go. 2 missing, but I know where they are. As you might be aware, this is rather infamous for being one of the most difficult levels, and it is pretty long as well. And on top of that, we have to complete the gem path for all the boxes. So the gem path is like an extra long death route that is unlocked once all the coloured gems are found. It can take longer to get through the gem path than some whole levels, and you then still have to do the entire rest of the level on top of that. It took me 15 attempts before I even made it through the first time, and I've never done the gem route twice in a row. By my 20th run, I was getting even further through these toxic tunnels. In fact, this level isn't too bad. Again, you can just take your time, and for the most part, I was just moving slowly, looking before I leap, and slowly getting better. On the 43rd run, I even got within sight of the finish line. Okay, this is the best I've done. Don't fuck it up. Ah, ooh, yep. You out. Okay, one last bit to get through. Ah, you! Fuck. Damn it. Okay, fine. Now, of course, that was probably a skill issue, but I'm also not immune to random bullshit as well. Check out this on my 50th run. Alright, I don't have any masks, but I'm doing okay. This gem path is nearly done, so that'll be pretty straightforward. Just hop on a minecart. Whenever they turn up. Yee. What the hell? What the fuck is this? Fucking hell. And by now, even the thought of progressing wasn't helping. The toll of repeating this shit and never knowing if a jump would land correctly, or if a millimeter of contact would end it all. I was preparing for hitting at least 100 runs, but on the 71st run, it all came together. Die. Yep, burn the mask. Ha 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 ha! Oh. Yes! Okay. Oh, right, so out of those 70 deaths, 48 of them were in the gem path alone, and at least 20 of those were at this stupid slide part that I just couldn't figure out. I know the perfect relics are really hated, but that wasn't so bad. Whatever calm I have carried over from CTR is still with me, and I'm sure having a gap of several years probably helps, rather than just trying to smash them all out in one go. I'm really hoping that that calm is deep, because now I gotta begin the time trials. Unlike all the previous Crash games, for this one you can't just get any relic, we need to get all 38 platinum relics, which means getting the best times in each level, and shut up, developer times can get stuff. No. But my logic in this was the same as those previous games. Once I beat the game, I'll just use the running ability that unlocks at the end to make it more manageable. Except there is no ability to run in this game.
What?
I hear you ask. Am I supposed to power walk my way to victory? How does one get the best speedrun times in a game that has no ability to move fast? Well, the unintuitively minded folks who made this decided to add 2 movements into the game that does allow Crash a slight increase in speed. Instead of having a simple button press to run, we now have the triple spin and the slide spin dash thing, I don't know what it's called. But they both require you to mash several buttons constantly to keep moving at a reasonable pace. Not once have I ever used either of these abilities. Oh yeah, that is a massive time difference. I have not got the hang of this one yet. After half a day of trying a few different levels and different characters, all cool I may have had was gone. This feels worse than CTR. It feels like every level has been designed to be infuriating. Oh, this both sucks and blows. Some of the levels feel like they were designed with time trials in mind and then made backwards from there. And then other levels feel like no one ever thought about the time trials for a split second when made in and just added them in as an afterthought. Oh, these controls were clearly not designed for time trials. With the perfect relics, when I died, I would just restart, no problem. This should be no different, but I was way less forgiving with the time trials. I can't even make it to the end of the level to see what shitty ass score I got so I have something to compare it to. After the first day, I had managed to get 2 platinum relics, which I suppose is okay, but my humor was wearing thin. Despite that, over the next few days, I did start to get a feel for it, especially the triple spin. In the end, I found it was easiest to just start from those first 2 levels and work my way through them from there. So although irritating at first, each new dimension felt like it was teaching me more and more as I went. Each level I would learn things like when to pause for a split second or when to burn a mask to save time. However, as the days ticked by, I encountered just about everything a game can throw at you to screw you over. Aside from the inherently odd design choices this game has, people will probably encounter some of the following. Missing a 1-second time crate can somehow change your final time by 5 seconds in some levels. Figure that one out. Precious milliseconds that change the timing and synchronization of everything, except for the times when it doesn't do that. Oh, real nice, dickhead. My biggest pet peeve in all of gaming is getting caught on the fucking environment. Move it, you stupid fucking thing. What are you getting stuck on that for? Depth perception, that could just be me. Whoops. Ah. Ah, dickhead. Oh. Come on. Doesn't the yellow thing mean I've landed on it? The patented Crash Bandicoot hitbox bullshit, TM. What the hell is this? Aw, oh, come on. Oh, fuck off. I wasn't touching that. My ghost constantly haunting me, despite the fact that I had turned it off. Why are you... Didn't I turn you off? And Crash just plainly deciding that my inputs are optional. What? Oh, okay. So we're not going to jump now, are we? Oh, you're not a lemming, you stupid idiot. But that's just the basics. Because then there were the things that the trophy gods themselves came down from their cloud from to personally harass me with. The in-game camera refusing to pan or glitching out. Oh, what is... Hey, what? Hey, what's happening? Ooh, that's twitchy. Why are you being twitchy? Oh, goddamn this. I can't manage this. My controller getting so soaked in sweat that it would just glitch out and refuse to work properly. Spin the Why didn't you spin the fucking box? What the hell? Spin... Why isn't my spin working? Oh yeah, now it fucking works. Fucking hell. What is this? What is this crouch thing? Oh, what is that? What the hell was that? And finally, ropes that don't fucking work. What are you doing? What? Oh. Grab the rope. Grab it. Grab the fucking rope. Oh. I can see why people consider this to be near impossible. And as for roadblocks, oh boy, does this game have you covered. They should just call this game Crash Bandicoot It's About Roadblocks. Early levels like Jetboard Jetty and Dragon On I was absolutely dreading and were the first to truly stop me in my tracks. Others like Run It Bayou and Ship Happens, I got the Platinum Relic the first time I finished. Not because I'm good, just because it took so long to actually finish them that the first time I did, I actually got the relic. It is amazing how some of these runs do seem so impossible at first, and yet there is always a definitive moment in each level where I realize, you've got this. I was actually enjoying doing these time trials, and I had gotten to the point of just one more run. So there were challenges, but I was still calm. So at the halfway point, I decided to skip ahead since I figured I had learned everything I needed to, and I will start working backwards from the harder levels. And now it became apparent to me, there were no more easy levels. Each time I think I've cleared the last hurdle, the game sends another. People talk about the 10 hardest levels or whatever, but at least half of these levels are full-on momentum killers. And then I got to nitro processing. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I can't wipe off any more time. I am not good enough to do this. This level is too long and has too many complexities that I can't keep the speed going. This is 10 times worse than any other level I've done so far. And with that, my journey with Crash 4 has ended. Nitro processing broke me completely. That was until I kicked its ass a few hours later. Haha! From now on, I know that nothing can break me.
What have I got?
So I continued working backwards through the hardest levels. There were still roadblocks, of course, there are still challenging levels, and with the final 2 levels, I knew I had it in the bag. All I had to do was beat Rock Blocked. In many ways, this was worse than nitro processing. That one pushed me to almost breaking point, but this is even more devastating because it is the very last thing I need to defeat for the platinum. I have one more level after this, which I know I've got because it is so easy, but shaving down the time in this one is fucking brutal. Right. Here it is. 1 to go. In any other level, these sliding floors would be a pain in the ass. Piece of cake. Look at that. Now that taken care of, all we need to do is watch the new cutscene that we unlocked. And that's Plat. And I did it all without going insane. Oops. Oh, come on. Oh, really? Get stuff. You dickhead. Fuck off. Ah! I hate this. I hate this so much. And there we have it. 2 new platinums, and that rounds out my Crash collection. That's all 5 100% done. There is no doubt that these are both confirmed ball breakers. It's really fascinating and interesting that such infamously difficult games still are so popular that people are still willing to do them. You can see that I was defeated by their reputations before I even began, and yet, who's laughing now, you stupid orange rat? I started this Bandicoot journey with 98.22%, and I've gathered 9 trophies over these 2 games, and that leaves me with 98.24%. I have been playing these 2 games for about 6 weeks. I started early March to late April. In that time, I have only played 1 other game that has DLC that I haven't played yet, and on top of that I had 2 other games that got added DLC. So I had a total of 28 new trophies added to my backlog. So my increase with these Crash games did not go up very high at all, but I don't care because I'm happy that the Crash games are done. On top of that, and having the Crash games completed, Crash 4 also counts as my 200th PS4 Platinum, which is another milestone that I'm pretty happy with. Alright, I'm gonna wrap it up here. There will be more backlog ball breakers in the future, but I might have to take a break and catch up on other games before I go back to the backlog for a little while. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching and enjoying me go not insane. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, all that jazz. And as always, don't forget to check behind the waterfall.